Yes, guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Cop Noise TV. Bit of a random one this week. As you can see, I am not in my local surroundings, or my familiar surroundings, you might say. I am currently sat in my car, working away from home. Not able to get back, unfortunately, to do this video and get it out when I wanted. So you've got to work with what you can do, and this is my office for the next couple of days, so we're rolling with it. Bear with me, stick with me. Thanks for watching the video. And question, if you've not subscribed already, please get over to the homepage, hit that subscribe button, help me out and help yourselves out in not missing any future content. Right, enough about that. Let's get into the video. Let's get into why we're here. That is to look at the big match build-up between Liverpool and their latest opponents in the Champions League. That is Olympique Marseille. So Marseille, they're not doing too bad, actually. They're currently sat third in their domestic league. They are 8 points of top spot, so not a million miles away. They very much show inconsistency in their form. They've won out of their last 5, they've won 2, lost 2 and drawn 1. So very yo-yo side, you might say. And although they did put 5 past Angers in their last domestic league game, but that inconsistency shows through into their Champions League form as well. They've played 6, they've won 3, lost 3. So again, very much a yo-yo side when looking at Marseille's form. They're 16th currently in their Champions League table, so sitting right in the middle of the playoff places. So this is a really important game for them. Given that you'd say the benchmark for automatic qualification, I think is it the top 8. The benchmark you'll see is around about 15-16 points. Marseille, pretty much you would say, need to win their next 2 games if they are going to get in those automatic qualification spots. They've got a favourable, or you might say a semi-favourable fixture after Liverpool. They're away to Club Brugge. Club Brugge are currently only sat on 4 points. No chance of qualification. So I dare say that the next 2 fixtures for Marseille, Liverpool and Club Brugge, are both must-win games. Having looking at Marseille's squad, there is a lot of players they've got currently sat in their squad that we will be familiar with, or a lot of people will be familiar with. They've got the French international Benjamin Pavard at the back. I was a big fan of his years and years gone by, but he's I wouldn't say he's fallen off the edge of a cliff, but he's not the player he was. If you remember, he scored that wicked was it a volley against Germany in one of the last World Cups gone by, where he caught it at the edge of the box and it just kind of just arced. It just bent its way around the goalkeeper into the far corner. One of the best goals I've ever seen in a World Cup. They've got Adrien Rabiot, midfielder. He's been around. I think he played at PSG. He's played at Juve. So he's got plenty of big game experience and Champions League experience. Angel Gomez, who a lot of people will know from the England squad. Neil Maupay, everyone's favourite shithouse, obviously ex-Brighton player. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, not the player he used to be. He's got 5 goals this season, but he's definitely part of their squad and a focal point up top. And speaking of focal points up top, Mason Greenwood. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, Marseille's MVP at the moment. He is their most important, most valuable player. He's got 12 goals this season. He's ex-Man United. We all know Mason Greenwood's backstory as well, so I'm not going to get into that. But I would imagine that, as I say, given that he's ex-Man United, he will be getting plenty of stick from the travelling cop. That is for sure. And they've also got a familiar face in the dugout, Roberto De Zerbi, once Brighton manager. Now, if you remember rightly, De Zerbi was, or his name, whether there was any truth in the rumours, but his name was getting touted around as being Pep Guardiola's successor before Pep signed he's currently in the middle of his 2-year extension to his contract. So, yeah, that is a look at Marseille. And as I say, Liverpool will need to be on their A game. This is not going to be a walk in the park for Liverpool. Liverpool will have to show up on the night. Speaking of Liverpool, so focusing solely on their Champions League campaign so far, this is definitely, I would say, is it a must-win? I'd say it's a must-not-lose for Liverpool. We're currently on 9 points. We're currently sat 9th in the table, just outside the automatic qualifications, albeit only by goals scored, not even goal difference, goals scored to, I think it is Atletico Madrid. So, for me, given that we've got, similar to Marseille, a favourable a favourable fixture, you might say, in our last Champions League fixture. We've got Qarabag at home. You'd like to think that, yeah, if Liverpool take 4 points from their next 2 games, then that should see us in those automatic qualification places. But as we all know, football is not played on paper, so therefore I don't think Liverpool can afford any slips, and I don't think Liverpool can afford to be relying on picking up 3 points at home to Qarabag. So Liverpool need to come out, and I mean, does any manager ever play for a draw? Who knows? But I can't see Arne Slot coming into this game and potentially setting Liverpool up to play for a draw. However, given how we have performed in recent fixtures in the Premier League, who knows? However, last time out in the Champions League, I thought Liverpool were really good. We showed a great performance away from home in the San Siro. We beat Inter Milan 1-0, and I've got to say, on that day, we looked solid. As defence was really compact. We didn't give up many clear-cut chances, not that many that I can think of anyway. And a massive thing which I think will come into play in this fixture too, in the San Siro, we managed the crowd. We managed the crowd really well. And Liverpool will have to do the same thing in this fixture. I've been to this stadium. I think I watched France against Germany in a Euros semi-final. It's a great stadium. I think it holds around 67,000. So we all know that the crowd are going to play a part in this fixture, and Liverpool will have to just kind of manage that crowd, get through the first 10-15 minutes, even 20-25 minutes, and stay in the game, not give up any silly chances, especially not any silly goals. And in terms of head-to-head, when Liverpool go into Marseille, they almost look pretty good for Liverpool, I've got to say. The last 2 fixtures, I think it was in 2007 and in 2008, Liverpool have won both games. Steven Gerrard scoring in both those fixtures. So like I say, the omens are good if you want to go on head-to-head with Liverpool playing away in Marseille. In terms of their team selection, Mo Salah will be back for Liverpool. The AFCON campaign has now finished, and it can't come at a better time for me. Liverpool need options at the top, up front, along that front line, whether it be on the left, the right, or in the middle. Liverpool are thin on numbers, thin on quality, and having Mo Salah back can only add strength, whether it be in the starting 11 or off the bench. But having said that, let's have a look now at what I think Arne Slot will do in terms of a starting 11 for this fixture. I can't see too many changes from the game at the weekend. If I'm honest, the draw at home with Burnley, it's going to be Alisson Becker in goal. I think he'll stick with the same back 4. I think Jeremy Frimpong will carry on at right back. You'll have Virgil van Dijk and Ibu Konate as the centre halves. And Milos Kerkez will continue at left back. I think, for those of you who've seen previous videos, Kerkez is going from strength to strength for me, and I want him to continue that. And having seen Andy Robertson play against Barnsley, obviously I know it's difficult coming in and out of the team all the time, but for me, he didn't do anything to warrant taking that spot from Kerkez, so therefore Milos Kerkez plays at left back. In terms of the midfield, I see one change. Ryan Gravenberch will play. I think Alexis McAllister will come in for Curtis Jones. Rightly or wrongly, I think Alexis McAllister is struggling for form this season, if I'm honest, like really, really bad. And Dominic Szoboszlai will obviously continue in his role. And then up top, I see the same starting three. Cody Gakpo on the left, Florian Wirtz on the right. However, he doesn't stay to the right. Florian Wirtz will just kind of do what Florian Wirtz does. And why wouldn't he? Because he's arguably Liverpool's best player this season. He is he's definitely my flavour of the month at the moment. I love this guy so much. In my eyes, he cannot do wrong. He's one of the most silkiest footballers I've ever seen with my own two eyes. And Hugo Ekitike, who I think has kind of escaped a little bit of criticism quite recently. Obviously, his form has been, especially out of the new signings, he was the one that hit the ground running. He was the one that was amongst the goals straight away at the beginning of the season. However, I want to see a little more from him, especially in the latter stages of the second half. I just think he obviously has a stamina issue. He gets gassed really easy, and I want to see this improve. I want to see him kind of running defenders down the channels around 75 to 80 minutes. Because for me personally, in the second halves, he goes missing in games, and I assume that's why Arne used to bring him off a lot of the times when he starts. Ultimately, we don't have the luxury of bringing him off now because Alexander Isak is injured. But for me, Ekitike needs to do a little bit more going forward in games for Liverpool. That's my starting 11 prediction, guys. Let me know yours in the comments below. In terms of a score prediction, I think Liverpool come away with a 1-1 draw here. I do. I think it will be a similar performance as in the San Siro, and we dig in and we get a 1-1 draw. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. Thanks for watching. And yeah, smash the thumbs up and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in a bit.